So for this explainer, I want you to forget everything you remember from high school biology class, just for a minute. Because today, we're not looking at life under a microscope. We're treating biology as the most advanced engineering manual ever written. It's a blueprint for how we're going to build the future. So let's dive right in. And I want to start with this question. Just imagine, for a second, a factory. One that's so small you can't even see it, but it's so powerful it can build anything, from the hardest wood to the most complex computer we know of. The human brain. Now, what if I told you that factory isn't science fiction? What if it's humming away right now inside every living thing on this planet? So where exactly are these microscopic marvels? Well, in this first part, we're going to go find them. We're on a hunt for the most efficient and, frankly, the most sustainable factories in the entire universe. And the answer, it turns out, is pretty simple. They are absolutely everywhere. I mean, they're in the leaves of the most basic plants. They're in the skin on your hand. The engineering breakthroughs that we as builders have been looking for, they aren't on some distant planet. They're coded deep inside the fundamental structure of life itself. And this is it, the cell. This is our factory. You've probably heard it called the fundamental unit of all life. And that's not an exaggeration. Every single living thing is made of these. And each one is its own tiny, self-contained, perfectly automated production line. Okay, so now that we've found our factory, let's, grab a visitor's pass and take a quick look around. We're about to go on a tour of the inner workings of this incredible biological machine. So here you can see the basic layouts for a plant cell and an animal cell. And yeah, they're a little different, kind of like a car factory looks different from a computer chip plant. You can see the plant cell has that big, rigid wall around it for structure. But if you look closer at the machinery inside, you'll see they share a lot of the same core departments to get the job done. And this is where that factory analogy really starts to click. You've got the nucleus, that's the head office, holding all the master DNA blueprints. The mitochondria, they're the power plants, generating all the energy for the entire operation. The Golgi apparatus is basically the shipping department, packaging products up and sending them out. And the ribosomes, they're the actual workers on the assembly line, tirelessly building proteins. It's a flawless system. Now, every factory needs raw materials, right? And what's amazing is that the cell uses just 4 main types of molecules to build literally everything. So let's meet the 4 fundamental ingredients that life uses for all its engineering projects. First up, we've got carbohydrates. The easiest way to think about these is just pure fuel. They're the high-octane gasoline that keeps the entire factory running at full tilt. Just quick, accessible energy. But carbs are more than just fuel. They do a lot. They give you that immediate energy boost, sure. They can be stored up for later. But, and this is so important for our whole builder theme, they also form incredibly strong structural parts, like the cellulose that makes wood tough as nails. Next up, proteins. Now, if carbs are the fuel, you can think of proteins as, well, everything else. They're the workers, they're the machines, they're even the products getting built. They are by far the most versatile, active players in the whole factory. I mean, the sheer number of jobs that proteins do is incredible. They act as enzymes, which basically makes all the chemistry happen way, way faster. They provide the scaffolding for everything, like collagen in your skin. They carry stuff around. They're literally what makes your muscles move. They are the true action heroes of the cell. All right, our third building block, lipids. You probably know these as fats, oils, and waxes. And their one defining superpower is that they absolutely do not mix with water. That simple fact makes them perfect for creating walls, boundaries, and long-term energy storage. So in our factory analogy, lipids are both the architects and the security guards. They form the actual walls of the factory, the cell membrane, which carefully controls what gets in and what gets out. Plus, they act as the backup generators, storing huge amounts of fuel for later. They even act as messengers, carrying signals between different parts of the cell. And finally, that brings us to the most important raw material of all, nucleic acids. Now, this isn't a physical material in the same way. This is the information. It's the software. It's the master blueprint, DNA and RNA, that contains the instructions for everything the factory will ever build. Their entire job is just information management. So think of it this way. DNA is the priceless original blueprint. It's locked away safely in the head office. It never leaves. RNA is like a trusted messenger who makes a temporary copy of just one page of that blueprint and carries it out to the factory floor so the workers know what to do. It's a genius system for protecting the master plan while still getting all the work done. Okay, so we've toured the factory, we've met the 4 raw materials, now for the payoff. Let's see how real-world engineers are taking these exact biological building blocks and using them to create some truly groundbreaking new technologies. And this is just a brilliant example. Remember cellulose, that super strong carbohydrate from plants? Well, engineers are using it to make water filters. But here's the genius part. They give the filter a positive charge. And since most harmful bacteria have a negative charge, they literally get stuck to the filter like a magnet. It purifies the water without needing tiny pores that clog up or harsh chemicals. It's simple, elegant, and straight from nature's playbook. And that same kind of thinking is helping us tackle another huge challenge: plastics. Instead of using fossil fuels, we can use plant starches and oils to create bioplastics. And the difference is just night and day. These bioplastics aren't toxic, they're made from sustainable sources, and best of all, when you're done with them, actual microbes can break them down and eat them. We're essentially borrowing nature's materials, and then we're turning them to the ecosystem. So if we can build better filters and smarter plastics just by learning from nature's code, what's next? Well, that brings us to what might be the most exciting raw material of all, one that doesn't just build things, but can actually become anything. Say hello to the stem cell. This is nature's blank slate. It's the ultimate programmable material. Unlike a specialized muscle cell or a nerve cell, a stem cell hasn't decided what it wants to be yet. It holds the potential to become any type of cell the body needs. It's a universal building block. The potential here is it's hard to even wrap your head around. Imagine being able to grow new organs for people who need them, completely eliminating transplant wait lists, or fighting brain diseases like Parkinson's by telling stem cells to become the very neurons that have been lost. We could even repair a damaged heart. This isn't just about building a better product. It's about programming biology itself to rebuild and heal. So we end up right back where we started, with a big question. We've seen that the cell is a factory. We've seen that its 4 basic biomolecules are revolutionary materials, and we are just scratching the surface of how to use them. The line between biology and engineering is pretty much disappearing. So if life itself is the ultimate programmable matter, what will we, as the builders of the future, decide to create with it?